Welcome to Bears in Exile. Today is Tuesday, May 15th, and this is the market overview looking at the Dow, SPX, VIX, TNA, UUP, FXE, GLD, SLV, XOI, XLF, Apple, and whatever else happens to come our way. Alright, a really ugly day for the bulls. No doubt about it. Some really bad things happened. For one, we had let's see here. Here we are on the Dow. We had broken the previous floor yesterday by a small amount, and we exceeded it today by a pretty good amount at its lowest, and we did close below the low of yesterday. Definitely a bearish signal. I mean, everything has been a bearish signal, but we were looking for there to be a close not exceeding the low, and unfortunately that's not what happened. Almost a fat body inverse hammer, but a little bit too big in the body. 14-day RSI moving average moving down once again. Almost, well, we noticed yesterday that it started ticking down again, and stochastics pointing down, CCI ticking up, RSI down, histogram down, MACD down. We have no uptick in the MACD histogram. Of course, we have no uptick in the short-term moving averages. It's just ugly. Breaking that floor, terrible, terrible sign. What do we have to stop it at this point? Well, back here. And, you know, by this point, that isn't so far away. That's... Let's see how many points that is. That is 12,529, just over 100 points to the downside from where we are right now. So that would still be a pretty sizable drop, all things considered. Be just another day in the park, in the neighborhood, just as we've been doing this entire time. But if anything's going to stop it at this point, that'll be it. Maybe even this low up here, just a little bit higher, but nonetheless, just over 100 points, and maybe it'll turn around before then. But there should be a reaction at that point. In fact, there should have been a reaction at this point, but we saw how that turned out. 60-minute time frame. We were saying yesterday that the 60-minute time frame was bad, and it's still bad, not as bad, if that helps any. Ending with a inverse hammer at the end of the day doesn't mean jack, since we always seem to gap down. And on our indicators, it's actually, I mean, it's bad, but in some ways it's not too bad, because now we have the CCI in a better position compared to the close of yesterday when it was just rolling over. The stochastics bounced up, came back down. They're almost in the same position, but you'll notice that that they are lower and they're together instead of being spaced apart. 14-day RSI moving average is still ticking down, 60-minute time frame. The RSI is essentially in the exact same spot, except now we have a lower low. And in the histogram, it looks very similar, but it's higher as well with a lower low. All that that's doing is building some, not a whole lot, but some positive divergence. We have it in the CCI, the stochastics, the CCI, the MACD, going back a really good long way. So whenever the bounce happens, whatever day that may be, using universe far, far away, it's not as bad as yesterday. 60-minute time frame. SPX. More of the same. We busted out the floor that was important yesterday. Busted out the low of yesterday today, closing below it. 14-day RSI moving average ticking down, stochastics down, CCI sideways, very low, down on the RSI, down on the histogram, down on the MACD, and finally things are really getting oversold. So is that going to matter? Well, we have positive divergence in the daily for the MACD histogram. Yeah, that could be busted out tomorrow, but hey, in the daily, that's strongest time frame. Is that going to mean anything? We also have it in the CCI, and very slight in the stochastics, and not in the RSI. But anyways, same in the 60-minute time frame as the Dow. Bad, but not as bad than yesterday, or as yesterday. CompQ, the Nasdaq. Well, we were talking yesterday about the floor. It was right at it, kissed it, backed off slightly. Now it broke it, closed below it. Bad signal. 14-day RSI moving average ticking down, stochastics down, CCI up, RSI down, histogram slightly down, MACD down. 60-minute time frame. This was looking bad yesterday. Not as bad as the Dow and SPX, but still not the greatest. How does it look today? Well, lower low. We now have positive divergence CCI, positive divergence stochastic, positive divergence RSI. Very nice. Positive divergence MACD histogram, but MACD pointing down, bearish cross again, RSI ticking up. So much more mixed, and getting some positive indications whenever a real bounce decides to grab the market. And hopefully that won't be too long. The VIX, big spinning top. A little bit of excessive separation. We know that there is a bubble here of some degree, but we have a bullish engulfing, and histogram ticking up, MACD ticking up, RSI ticking up, stochastics pointing up, 14-day RSI moving average rolling back over to the upside, and CCI very high, getting a downtick. 60-minute time frame, not bad for the bulls. 14-day RSI moving average getting high, but still room to move, ticking up. Stochastics moving up, CCI ticking down slightly, RSI ticking down slightly, histogram ticking sideways at the end of the day, MACD pointing up. And just like the Dow and SPX, we have divergence, this time in the negative direction. CCI negative divergence, fast stochastic negative divergence. RSI, no, we do not. I mean, it's ultra small. I mean, almost not even worth mentioning. And MACD histogram, yes, negative divergence. I think that would likely take it back to the 21 area, close to the lower 21. But that's if it decides to resolve its negative divergence. And also in the daily of the VIX, we have a negative divergence in the MACD histogram and in the CCI. Not in the stochastics, not in the RSI yet. So, anyways, don't want to create false hope, but this is around the time that there should be a turn, and anything that helps corroborate that is nice. Doesn't mean that it's right, just means that it's nice. TNA. We have a inverse hammer. 14-day RSI moving average ticking down, stochastics down, CCI up, RSI down, histogram down, MACD down, and 60-minute time frame. Not the end of the world, but not pretty. It is slightly better than yesterday, once again. CCI ticking down, stochastics down, 14-day RSI moving average down, RSI up, histogram slightly down, MACD slightly down, positive divergence CCI, fast stochastic, RSI, and MACD histogram. Be nice if it were to work out tomorrow, but Just won't know till tomorrow. XOI oil. Man, this one's getting destroyed. Going back down, closing in on the lower Bollinger Band once again. The 14-day RSI moving average going sideways. Stochastic still pointing down. CCI up, RSI down, histogram down, MACD down. Ugh. Absolutely destroyed. And previous low over here. We are so close. You would think that tomorrow we should run into it. There should be a reaction at that point. The last time we were supposed to have a reaction, it just gapped right through it. It cheated. And hopefully it won't gap through to this one tomorrow. We shall see. 60-minute time frame. Make it a little bit bigger. I mean, it looks ugly. The CCI is ticking up, the 14-day RSI moving average is ticking down, stochastics holding low, up on the RSI and up on the histogram. Notice positive divergence in the MACD histogram trying to slope up. Positive divergence in the RSI, slight. Positive divergence in the stochastics. Positive divergence in the CCI. Ooh, I guess I have to get closer to that. So, we'll see. UUP. Amazing. Outside the upper Bollinger Band, breaking the previous top. Oof. That is bullish. Just is. We do have some excessive separation. We have a little bit of wobble. There is a bubble here. Stochastics high. 14-day RSI moving average getting high. Up on the CCI, up on the RSI, up on the histogram, up on the MACD. Looks pretty darn extended to me, especially being outside the upper Bollinger Band. And we had a positive volume surge today on UUP. Much higher than than the rest of the month. And yeah, going back to March. So is that going to mean something? It definitely could. So pullback of UUP tomorrow would be very, very nice. Merkel and Hollandaise are meeting here in a few hours. So if they can hammer out an agreement, the markets are going to be able to calm down. FXE, the euro, just outside the lower Bollinger Band. We have wobble, we have a little bit of excessive separation, and we have pretty darn high sell volume, not volume that eclipses everything from the last month like UUP, but still pretty good volume. We will see. And Apple. Yeah, you know, it really needed to hold this this previous low, and it closed just below it. 14-day RSI moving average ticking down, stochastics down, CCI down, RSI down, histogram very slightly down, MACD down. Thanks to the new lower low, we have positive divergence in the daily of the MACD histogram and the CCI, and almost but not quite the stochastics. 60-minute time frame. Anything to be really happy about. Well, 14-day RSI moving average, stochastics pointing down, CCI down, RSI leveling out, histogram down, MACD down. And yeah, we have plenty of positive divergences in the 60-minute time frame. MACD histogram, the RSI, the stochastics, the CCI. There's a lot. Just about everything. So there's fuel there for a bounce to happen, and it just needs to happen. XLF, the financials, clobbered once again. And look at that, right at the previous floor, right now. Which isn't to say that it can't break it, because certainly it can. 14-day RSI moving average, stochastics low, CCI ticking up, RSI down, histogram down, MACD down, and the 60-minute time frame, not real pretty either. 14-day RSI moving average pointing low, already oversold. Same with the stochastics, same with the CCI, up on the RSI, up on the, slightly down on the MACD histogram, positive divergence, down on the MACD itself. It's at a good level to bounce. We'll see tomorrow if it does bounce. GLD, gold. Whew, that strong dollar just beating the heck out of gold. Closing just above the lower Bollinger Band. 14-day RSI moving average ticking down, stochastics down, CCI up, RSI down, histogram down, MACD down. Not attractive, excessive separation, some wobble. There is a bubble here. And at some point we will get an uptick, and then maybe we'll have some fun. Going back to previous floor. Look at that. We ended essentially right at the bottom of this candle of the floor, previous floor. It might actually be a shade higher. It is a shade higher. Man, is it close. So it should be getting into a level where there is a bounce higher, but if it just blows through this, wow. SLV, also ugly, just like gold. 14-day RSI moving average and stochastics down, CCI sideways, RSI down, histogram down, MACD down, and are we close to a level? No. There's still about $1 to go, so not as encouraging as gold. JP Morgan, whew. We have a very nice, it has a little bit of a tail at the bottom, but gravestone doji, and yeah, it's still below the 200-day moving average. Did peak above it. It keeps trying. You see these tails, keeps trying to go up and keeps getting knocked down. You can see the excessive separation in the short-term moving averages. There is a bubble here. 14-day RSI moving average, stochastics pointing down, CCI ticking up, RSI ticking up, MACD down, MACD histogram down. I would think that here very shortly it is going to try to bounce, and when it does, I think that it'll take the market with it. Just my opinion. 60-minute time frame, since it is so important. Look at that, 14-day RSI moving average ticking up. Stochastics needing to reset themselves, heading low. Down on the CCI, down on the RSI, down, sloping down on the histogram, up on the MACD. At least it has a few positive signals, which is better than most. VXX, hey, why not? Finally, some good movement in VXX. And not enough to get to the previous high, but still respectable. It had been languishing so much during this entire move down, and finally it got a decent move today. 14-day RSI moving average ticking up, stochastics getting high, CCI high, RSI getting to overbought, up on the histogram, up on the MACD. It'll be neat to see these start to turn, and as bad as this has been treated, it'll be really interesting to see how much it falls should we get that bounce. And that's going to do it. As always, all investing decisions are your own. This chart and video for entertainment, educational, and consumption of time purposes only. Thank you.